Hello, my name is Leo. Welcome back for another episode of Ep3 as Korea. In previous episode, we started getting a bit of new laws in here. Hopefully, landed voting will pass today. We're also letting the private sector take over the construction for a little while right now. Mostly to save up a little bit on bureaucracy, quite frankly, but also since with making sure that we don't need to then sell necessarily everything. That's going to save us a decent bit of cash because they are now paying for all the construction costs. And investment pool, while is dropping a little bit right now. Credit where credit's due. We'll credit the industrialists. And foreign manifesto. Okay, we can get 10 more support for the law. Sure. There we go. Now we've got 88% chance of passing the law. It's fairly likely that the first elections are going to be very shortly then. And looks like the... Okay, we could actually have a little bit more innovation. Just not much more, but I suspect that that's partially because the universities had the less throughput currently. And I believe the, at least the iron mine up here hasn't been sold yet. Ah, there we go, we got landed voting. We've got a bit of a shortage of bureaucracy right now. I'm going to go ahead and remove at least one, maybe two taxes actually. There we go. Technically speaking, we could have taken the service tax away and put in the liquor and tea taxes back. It's not going to affect the poor ones as much. Agrarian Party and Conservative Party have been formed. Right then, who's in what party then, I suppose? Rule 4, oh, Rule 4 are actually up. Okay, good. Good. Conservative Party is, oh, well, okay, that makes sense. But that way we can maybe get a bit more power. Oh! Oh, right, that's another, right, that's the tooling workshop. Oh! Joint Front. It's been formed by USA. Oh, hold on a minute. So that's, who is actually in there? Liberia, Indian Territory, and USA, okay. It looks like the lead mine, I mean, I suppose there's not that high demand for the lead. Partially because there's just not that much high demand for glass in general. So I'm not going to be changing those too much. We don't really have our extra tools to put into the farming, for example. Not that we initially need to anyway. How's the, okay, the tooling workshop, cotton plantation. All into partisans. We can probably reduce the momentum of the Conservative Party. I'm pretty sure that they will still win the election, mind you, but maybe the Agrarian Party will get a little bit more. Well, yeah, it will probably get a decent bit of the vote. Now, we're going to let them build the tooling workshop. After that, we might go ahead and build another government administration or two. Just to make sure that we can keep the taxation somewhat okay. We're already at 17 million population. But the tooling workshop is just probably going to be a lot of good money anyway. The tool price is still quite elevated. Same with the iron price, although I suppose with the iron mines especially, we produce... well, currently only about 80 of it. But that could be that the iron mine up here is still hiring. Yeah, they're still hiring. And the local price, I mean, there's already 66 consumption locally. Admittedly, most of that is going for construction purposes, so that is one of the reasons. Why is the next resource in military? I suppose line infantry. Get that one underway. An atmospheric engine will be done soon. I think what we may need to do is probably want to build up a coal mine in here. Because that honestly will make quite a difference. Now, right now, it's not going to take too long to build. It will slow down the tooling workshop a little bit, but I think that's a risk that I'm willing to take. It's only, well, it's still 9 months, or 9 to 12 months. They will probably, once we build the coal mine, this population is probably going to start consuming coal anyway. Just giving it a bit of a boost to get started. But what we can then do, well, I suppose what we could even do, is at the urban centre start using the gas street lighting. That's going to provide more services. It's going to increase the cost a little bit, I suppose, but that's not too bad. Campaign financing. You know what? We're going to give them a little bit of financing. It was going to cost us, but at the same time, if we can make the Agrarian Party be a bit more, prominent, admittedly, I don't think they'll be strong enough to hold the government on their own. But, ideology, Agrarian Particularist, Isolationist, and Traditionalist. Okay, so we probably won't be able to get everything in there, but I suspect that we might be able to at least get rid of the serfdom one way or the other. Of course, landowners still have almost 50% of the total clout, so it's pretty difficult to say at least. But one day, actually one day, so with the landed voting, so political strength for the aristocrat and capitalists and clergymen and officers is relatively high. And there's the election results. So the Conservative Party, of course, did win. Which means that we probably... Oh, we can actually get the rural folk in there regardless. Well, don't mind if I do then. Now, if we try to go for tenant farmers, yeah, there would be opposition. Of course, one of the things that we could try to do is try to pass the poor laws. Trade unions are quite angry right now. That would be opposed by the landowners. I think I might actually go for that. We'll just need to go ahead and build some more government administration, I reckon. The one over there, maybe we'll put one in our capital as well, or maybe two in our capital. So that's going to be a bit more extra cost for the construction for a little while. But I suspect that that's going to be alright. There's only 5,000 per week. We've got enough for at least 30 weeks. Or thereabouts. Of course, that's not going to be enough to complete all of these, but we will get the coal mine lease built. And there's a good chance that someone will maybe purchase the iron mines. Oh yeah, the iron mine has been purchased already. That's already something that got us some money. The lead mine is not in very high demand, though. Although it is fully employed, at least. Is there... Well, I suppose there's some buy orders, but it's only our glasswork over here that is using it. But I suppose this is a bit more profitable than some of the other glassworks, I reckon. Oh, yeah. Not by necessarily much, but it does help still. But the atmospheric engine is only about half a year away. I'm hoping that the poor laws will go through without too much issues. Of course, it's initially going to be costing us a lot. We need to get at least 3 more government administration buildings, which we are actually building. And that's going to cover up most of the increase in cost. Plus, we'll probably need like 1 more soon enough afterwards. There we go. The coal mine is almost done. As soon as that is done, well, of course, we'll put that to be privatized. Oh, and we might be reduced in autonomy now. We'll try to get... Oh, there's enough of the poor. Okay, we'll take the minus 10%, I guess. Intelligentsia might not like us as much, but it's just the risk I'll have to take. How's the... Okay, the max innovation is a bit higher than what we are currently producing. I'm not too worried about that yet. Of course, we... Oh, there we go. The GDP is now 4.5 million. So it's starting to finally grow. Admittedly, a big push for that was just getting more tooling workshops and, of course, iron mines and all that. The coal mine is not in high demand yet. I suppose what I can do is I'm going to go to the urban centers and get the gas relighting in there. It's going to at least provide a little bit of demand for the coal mine, which means that that can start going at higher speed. And, of course, that will then be used a lot later on once we get the atmospheric engine. But that shouldn't honestly be too bad. How are we doing on terms of... Okay, the transportation price is pretty high. The service prices aren't that high in most of these places. But there's not a lot of people that can afford to buy the services. That might be part of the reason. Actually, I do wonder. For the services... Oh, wealth levels 10 and above need services. Well, we don't really... Well, we got a little bit... Actually, let's have a look at the population. Oh, low progress of consideration. Very good. So, the upper and middle strata make about 500,000. And the low strata make 16.7. Ugh. The vast majority are still peasants and laborers. Political strength is mostly aristocrats. Peasants actually do have quite a bit of political power. Although not as much as aristocrats. Industrial boom. Ah, there we go. Our capital gets a bit more boost in there for productions. Which, especially for the tooling workshop, is going to be very nice. Is the iron mine... Oh, they did get iron mine already in there. It only produces 20 though, so that's something that we'll probably need to improve, well, once we get the coal available, really. And that's going to be... Yeah, that's going to be an extra 50... Oh, there's 25 per level coal mines. Okay, that's actually good. Coal used to be a massive issue earlier. I mean, you know, not necessarily always, but quite often you'd have to just have so many coal mines. I'm glad to see that they've increased that number a tiny bit. And there's more gold discovered over here in... Oh, right, these are part of Great Jing still. For some reason, I keep thinking that that's part of Russia because, you know, modern day borders and all that. But no, they're not there yet. The process of workhouses, including religious instructions in their work, has allowed the proposal poor laws to gain favor with the Confucian scholars. Okay. bit more radical, perhaps, but we could get 20% success chance, or we can just, you know, get the 10% from there, not get any more radicals. We don't really want to make the Confucian scholars too strong. Although, I think they do share a little bit of the voter base with the landowners anyway, so regardless, we could potentially weaken the landowners. Gold depleted and more, okay. Well, yeah, the gold fields, I suppose, are depleted. The lead mine is now working full speed, and that is in foreign ownership already. That may have been part of the reason why... Oh, there we go, atmospheric engine. Alright, so it begins. Let's have a look at the buildings. So, coal mine. We're going to put the atmospheric engine there from the get-go. That's going to get us 40 coal. I think we're going to fall using like 10 or 20. That's probably going to be a bit too much. I'm going to go ahead and get the... You know, I'm going to go ahead and boost this one still. Not necessarily every place is going to get coal yet, but we can start with that. And I suppose there's now going to be a huge demand for extra coal. Private sector is building a cotton plantation and another paper mill. No textile mills yet, which is a bit of a shame. And the coal mine has not been sold yet. The second most productive coal mine in the world. That is kind of impressive, actually. I suppose we are still relatively early game, so not that many places really require coal. But I'm sure the like places in Europe and at least already use up a lot of it. There's still massive demand for small arms, which we don't really produce any. We don't really use any either ourselves, but of course Qing uses a lot, and that might be something that we'll want to start setting up at some point. Oh, there we go. The law might actually pass sooner. So we've got a little bit extra bureaucracy available. We will be paying a lot of money, but of course once we get the government administration buildings again, that's going to allow us to get like 4,000 per week at least back by letting the private sector do the construction work, which we've got the investment pool back at, oh, 2.7 million already. It was 2 million not that long ago. Of course, once we started doing our construction... Oh, there's a cotton plantation built by the foreign investors as well. So there's two on the way there, okay. Well, I suppose if it's easy money, I suppose. Although, there's actually quite a bit overflow of fabrics right now. I think one of the things that we might have to do, not necessarily immediately, but sooner or later, we need to start getting some clothing production ourselves. Because right now, while there's fairly high demand for clothing, and all of that is coming from the Chinese market right now to us, or through the Chinese market to us, there's no domestic, well, there's some domestic production, I suppose, but there's clearly not enough of it. There we go, that's another government aspiration build. And I suppose, well, we're not building this full speed, we could be using up to... Oh, dear, law stalled. Well, still 38% chance, so we got a fairly good chance of actually passing that law still. How long? Okay, we've got 19 weeks. 19 weeks of this speed. We will have a decent debt, but at the same time, we can still recover from that. I'm not too worried about it. Of course, if in emergency, we can always increase the taxes, but I'd rather avoid that for now. Standard of living is still quite rubbish, though. I suppose we still have, like, a massive chunk of our population be peasants. And I suspect that a lot of the basic stuff is starting to get a bit expensive. The pop consumption is 44. For coal. I mean, there's not that much production of it. 48, which I suppose is better than nothing. Oh yeah, it is entirely from this. I suspect that the coal, well, it's actually, how high is the demand for coal? Oh yeah, it is pretty high. The price is quite high indeed, so hopefully we can, Oh, we must have sought another building. Was it the coal mine? Maybe. I think it was, actually. Okay, so the income has dropped a little bit further, but at the same time, at least we don't have any debt right now, so we don't need to pay much interest. Okay, we do have a little bit of debt, but it's basically nothing. How's the world looking like in the meanwhile? Okay, Siam's still there. Just is indeed... Oh, and there we go. We've got 4 laws. We are having a little bit of a deficit of bureaucracy, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. And also, we've got 2 million loyalists now. Oh boy, that is a massive boost there. Okay, now we're paying £10,000 per week. Of course, once the construction ends, we'll be roughly equal, or even. Now, of course, once the private sector builds a few more things, more employment going on, more production going on and all that, we should be getting some more money. Of course, the taxation laws are quite minuscule right now. We're not going to go back to consumption-based taxation. We could try passing the professional army. Both rule folk and armed forces would support that. The landowners would oppose it. At the same time, we could start getting some better stuff going on with the army, so that would be nice. We don't have any migration controls. Oh, and we got the cultural exclusion. We're not necessarily going to go to multiculturalism quite yet, but at some point we might go for it. Oh, actually. Tenant farmers, there is a decent bit of support for it. Intelligentsia would support, but they're not part of any party yet, are they? No, I don't think so. Farming boom. Sure, we'll take the extra production. So 4.7 million GDP, so we're almost at the starting value. Of course, basically at the start it immediately drops. I think it's because the war between Britain and Great Qing starts pretty much immediately. So that's why some of the issues happen. Well, there we go. Making 200 pounds per week. It's not a lot. It will do for now. Now, the private sector is building factories. One paper mill in Jiangxia, so that's in the northwestern state. And then tooling workshop in our capital. There is the... Right, actually, they're not building the cotton plantation yet, but they probably will be. Oh, it's a government construction. Oh, why are they building the bloody cotton plantation in our lands, though? No, in the meanwhile, Oh, right, actually, what's... Oh, mechanical tools. That's going to be brilliant. And we're getting the education stuff in here. I believe that it's not going to be... No, it unlocks some more laws. And unlocks another party. Leads to some other research. It does increase the influence. And more maneuvers per diplomatic play. And, well, education access. So it's got some good stuff in there. And then the line infantry hopefully will be unlocked soon enough as well. Not that we necessarily have the resources. Oh, right, the cannons are very high in demand. Basically everything is pretty high in demand. Including... Oh. Right, someone else is starting to use construction now. Oh, yeah. China is starting to go full on the iron frame building. Okay. Over here, they do not have enough... Yeah, the wages need to go up a little bit. So the iron mines are unable to hire. We might need to get another university up here at some point. Right now, I think it's going to be... Oh, there we go, Empirism. We're already at 11.3% literacy rate, which is still quite rubbish, let's be honest. But it needs to start from somewhere. Ooh, stock exchange is spreading. Okay, that could be actually quite handy. Isn't that unlocking another... No, well, it reduces straight route production cost, which we don't have any. A market access price impact, that's actually not necessarily a bad one, though. Meaning that the prices of the local goods is going to be slightly less, depending on the total market price. Or overall market price. I think we'll currently wait with the money to pay off some of the loans. Oh, there we go, payment mill build. Oh, they're building another grocery. Oh, brilliant. Well, that's going to be in the southeast. Okay, well, I suppose if they... Yeah, they got a rice farm in there. That's fine. It's also going to offer some maybe slightly better paying jobs for at least some people. Probably not most of them, mind you. But the groceries, if I can kind of keep the... well, not necessarily stranglehold, but the hold on or how much is produced in here, it makes China be more dependent on our economy in certain aspects. Maybe not huge amounts, but I'm sure that it will still help. And the coal price is still pretty darn high, which is not necessarily helping our cause here currently. But the private sector will be getting the tooling workshop soon enough. Actually, are we... We might be the biggest producer of tools. Well, not... Oh, this trade route is bringing 225. Okay. So, of the productions, we produce 137 or 38. Almost. Actually, more than that. So, we got Junji, Yangzhou, and Yongnam. So, that's... we produce almost half of the tools that are produced in our market. And once we get that one more in our capital, that's going to be even higher percentage. That should at least get us over 50% then. Because we still got quite a bit of demand for iron. I think the iron price is going through the roof right now. Which could mean that... Oh, they're building a silk plantation as well, okay. Yeah, the tooling workshop is going to be brilliant. The food industry is going to be pretty good as well. The light infantry is going to take a little while, but then in the production, we'll get the mechanical tools, which gives us a reason to start building some steel mills. And then once we get the 4 steel mills, that's going to provide us with a lot of steel, hopefully. Well, it will be quite a bit of steel. And then we can start using steel into tool production, which means we get a lot more tools produced. And it also gives us, you know, a lot more nicely paying jobs. Well, I say nicely, paying jobs. Let's not oversell it. But yeah, we're currently focusing mostly on our nation over here, just building tall. It's not necessarily going too quickly yet. But sure, things are going to start going up a notch. And Great Jane still doesn't have the... So maybe Heavenly Kingdom just doesn't happen this time around. But how strong is Jing's GDP now? 83 million? Okay, they are still in the number one, of course. Their per capita GDP, I believe, might be less than ours. Oh yeah, it is. It's not massively less. It's like 0.06 difference in there. But of course, they've got a much higher population. Oh, there we go. Now we're making money. The unrealized taxes are still quite high. The investment pool is slowly going down, but it's not reducing that quickly. So I suspect that that's actually going to be just fine speed currently, in terms of using up the investment pool. Because by the time we go through most of that, the investment, base has probably increased quite a bit. Oh, another lead mine is underway. That could be useful. Is there any more demand for lead currently? There's a little bit, but it's actually, no, there's oversupply actually. Alright then. But I suppose that would allow us to start using a bit more lead for the other glass works. Like this one, for example, could then start using lead, which means there's even cheaper glass. Which, to be fair, is that's used for household items for the mid or middle class right now and higher, I suppose. Oh wow, upper strata is really wealthy. Lower strata, not so much. There's luckily not a lot of radicals, but the loyalist numbers are slowly drifting downwards. There is the property women that we might be able to pass. Is there? Well, I'll probably not be able to pass, let's be honest. There's a chance for it, but it's unlikely. As if we were to get to the tenant farmers, there's not a huge support for it though. And there's quite a bit of opposition. So I'm not going to do that yet. Although, actually, is there any agitators that we could maybe invite? No. And none of those that we could even if they were able to be invited, wouldn't really help us progress the tenant farmers. Great Way Courageous 2 will support the industrialists. I'm going to try to make the industrialists into an influential thing, because that will be very useful in the long run. Now we're getting... Okay, yeah, investment pool is still going down slowly. I suppose the construction cost is still bloody massive because the iron price is through the roof. Well, maybe not quite through the roof, but it's definitely buzzing at the roof. At least the litter rate is still going up, although the standard of living is going down. The population is also growing fairly quickly. We may need to increase the total construction speed soon-ish, although right now I know that the iron price being as high as it is probably not going to be a good idea. How's the tool pricing? It's still relatively high. It's not quite as bad anymore. We're getting the food industry up here soon enough. That's definitely going to be helping quite a bit. And they're building the cotton plantation already in Yeongnam. Youngo is going to get a silk plantation. Oh, what? Interesting. I guess they're building some... Oh! They're building an iron mine. Oh, the silk plantation built by manor houses in Xi'an. Okay. And Jing is building an iron mine. I suppose, if they don't have that great iron mine buildings or possibility for iron mines themselves, and this one, I suppose, reducing the iron price for the tooling workshop is going to be very effective. And it's going to help both us and the Qing, I suppose. So it's all good. There we go. Light infantry is about to be returned. We're not going to upgrade our infantry yet because I'm pretty sure that the availability of weapons is quite limited and it's going to be quite expensive to keep that army. There we go. Line infantry. So what is going to be the next thing spreading in there? It's probably going to be... Well, it's going to be one of these. Okay, Napoleonic Warfare. We'll go for it. Meanwhile, we'll get the mechanical tools in the next 2 years or so. Could maybe build another university somewhere. Maybe even one more up here in the northwest. But that would be quite costly, so I'm not going to do that quite yet. We've still got 50,000 credits to pay off. So I suppose the lead mine is going to definitely help. And another shipyard actually could be useful indeed. That's going to be in our capital as well. The foreign core... Yeah, they... Oh, it's queued? But I don't think it's actually being built right now. I suppose they're prioritizing other things currently. Construction queue is only 8 months for the private sector. Investment pool is still very, very slowly dropping. But that's honestly not a huge issue. How are we looking on the ledger right now? Population-wise, we are... Actually, it's probably easy to see from here. We're number 10. GDP-wise, we are relatively far down. We are over or above Hawaii, but below Brazil and Belgium and Mexico and quite a few other nations. I suspect that eventually will probably be in the top 10 at least with GDP. I mean, technically speaking, we do need to get above China, just for the heck of it. But that might take a while. 4 more weeks for the lead mine to be built. After that, shipyard. Oh, right, so the food industry is probably already up here and running, and it's probably making a load of cash. It is making cash for sure. Oh yeah, there's 170 buy orders for groceries. But to be fair, this is one of those things that anyone will need. Or like any type of pot will want to have. It's more effective as a food, if I remember correctly, compared to grain or fish. Meat and fruits are even better. Grocery. Okay, so it's the same as meat, fruits, and groceries. Or meat and fruit, the groceries is. So that helps a little bit. What about luxury food? Okay, it's oh, meat is basically luxury food. Comes with pops of wealth 20 and above. Basic food is up to 29 wealth level there. Okay. Well, the vehicle balance is alright in there. Financial district in... Oh, that is not capital, actually. There we go. We're making £2,000 pounds per week now. We're getting... Oh, we're getting a livestock ranch. I suppose the extra meat could be useful. And we did get the lead mine in here. Suppose it's not in high demand yet, so I'm going to go ahead and just increase this to lead crystal. Or lead glass, sorry, not crystal. So that's going to increase the demand for lead a little bit. We should be able to get that soon-ish. And then that's going to allow us to have even more production. It also makes this one just, you know, a little bit more profitable. Gives it... Oh, actually. I just realized... Well, we don't have the coal for that. Is there a coal mine being built? No, there's an iron mine at least. But no coal mines. But the shipyard's going to take a little while. I suppose... Is there a huge demand for clippers right now? Let's see... There's a little bit. It's not too bad, actually. But there is a little bit, for sure. Oh, there we go. We're almost back to... not have to pay too much. Let's see, so property women, there is a movement for that, but there's quite a bit of opposition for it. Oh dear, that's basically the entire government is opposing it. Yeah, so that's probably not going to happen. The professional army is something that we could try to get to. It's got 26% support, but there's also quite an opposition for it. So there's a good chance that it will not pass. Honestly, I think 26% chance is manageable. There's a decent chance that it will get some good modifiers in there and eventually pass it. That's going to allow us to improve our military a bit further. Right now we don't have a lot of prestige. Now, one of the things that we will need... Is there actually a lot of man of wars available? Not really. There's one military shipyard in Guangdong, which is probably, yeah, is not really in high demand there. They need a lot of iron. Of course, they don't really have. I'm going to wait until we get like at least 100,000 gold reserves, maybe more, before we start building maybe a bit more bureaucracy, because that's slowly drifting downwards. That would be useful. Alternatively, getting another university would be okay to get the innovation maxed out again. But that might take a little bit longer than intended. I actually do wonder, how many financial districts and all that do we have? Can we even see that in here? Got 13 total, okay. Capital's got 5. 4 in Yongnam, which I believe that's the southwest. Oh, Liberal Party has been formed. Right, let's see, who's in what party? Ah, it's just Intelligentsia is now in the Liberal Party. They don't have a lot of momentum, mind you. Oh, debate success in the professional army. There we go. But I do see that we are actually out of time with this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.